Eyes open, wide awake. Woo! Ah!
Jake Paul's California mansion has been raided by the FBI.
Controversial YouTube star Jake Paul under fire this morning.
It was just a massive party. The mayor of Calabasas is now promising to take action.
People just like attacking Jake Paul and like wanting to see me fail for literally like fucking nothing.
When I first met Jake Paul, I showed up to his house. He used to live in Calabasas in California here, right by the Kardashians. And he takes me to his room. We're sitting down. He has this massive bedroom. I'm sitting on his couch across from him. And I ask him, I'm like, what's going on? And he tells me, he's like, Marczell, look, I'm not happy. I'm doing this YouTube thing. And I want to go all in on boxing and music. And I feel incongruent. I told him, okay. So what's your goal in boxing? He says, I want to be the biggest YouTube boxer I can be. I'm like, no, you got to be the biggest boxer in the world, period. You got to be a world champion. And he's like, I never thought about it like that, you know? And I just told him, I'm like, you got to think bigger and you got to put it out in the world. And he said, okay, I'm going to do that. And I hypnotized him and, you know, we gave him the confidence. And not only did he go all in, I mean, he's unstoppable. People don't realize about Jake isn't just how athletic he is, how tall he is. There's a lot of athletic, tall people. What Jake does that no one else does, and no one understands this, is he has a mindset that no other athlete has inside of this industry.
Sometimes you need a coach or a professional to be able to do that. And we've been doing it since 6 years ago, so the results speak for themselves, I guess.
The problem child, Jake Paul!
My name is Marczell Klein. I'm the best hypnotist in the world. And what I do is I show people how to reprogram their minds so they can reach the craziest goals in the shortest amount of time.
Marczell Klein. Marczell Klein, a world-renowned hypnotherapist, the most famous hypnotist on the planet.
This is the most powerful tool in the world. The biggest thing I wanted to do with Jake this time around is I wanted to create a second identity, one that is unstoppable. You see, most people grow up and they have their childhood, their past, their heartbreaks, everything affects them at some level. What if you could have a clean slate? I'm the only person in the world who can literally create a clean slate in someone's mind, aside from his current identity. Program that identity to be the best version of him, and then have that identity go into his mind for me and delete all of the negative beliefs, all the negative files.
What's up, my man?
Hello, hello.
Welcome to Puerto Rico.
Thank you. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Nice to see you guys. I'm going to tell you what this stuff entails pretty much.
Yeah, when are we, so what the fuck are we doing?
So I'll pretty much explain it to you in a way that is more appealing. Because if I would have told you over the phone, you might have not been down. So, so everything you've been through now, your current mindset, whatever limiting beliefs you have, everything you've been through, that's your brain. I'm taking your body and I'm putting a brand new brain. Like there's like new personality, has nothing to do. It's just like a clean slate with your body. We're gonna program that to just be a fucking piece of shit in the ring. Like a total savage, no fear, never gets tired, doesn't ever fucking, relentless, super strategic, zero nerves, nothing. And then we're gonna merge that identity with your current identity. And then I'll give you something that turns it on. Anytime you go in the ring, or the second you put gloves on, it just turns on that identity. So there's nothing in the world more powerful than that psychologically that someone could do. Yeah. It's an instantaneous, permanent shift. But you gotta be world champ for it.
Okay.
That's the deal.
Hey, I can do that.
Isn't it funny how far you've come, how fast?
Yeah, it's nuts.
Remember our first conversation?
Yeah. You were like, hey, you need to say your goals out loud.
And go all in, think bigger?
Yeah, think bigger.
You did though. So yes, how many more
we are. We are.
To be the best at anything in the world requires unbelievable self-confidence. Doesn't matter what other people think, you do not care, you believe in yourself. The second thing is, you have to be obsessed. You have to be passionate about it, because at the end of the day, if you aren't passionate, someone else will come take your spot. But I can tell you this, and nobody knows this, Nobody wants that world championship belt more than Jake. And the reason I'm the best in the world at what I do is because nobody wants to help people as fast as I do more than me. And that's why I've become the best in the world at what I've done. And I've worked with many people who are the best in the world at what they do. And I can tell you, it's the same thing across the board. It's insane amounts of self-belief. They have a big vision, they think massive, and they are 100% passionate about what they do. Every day, whether they're sore, whether they're unhappy, whether they go through a breakup, whether they don't feel good, they still get up and they put in the work, because to them, the mission isn't about themselves. That's what people don't get. This isn't about Jake becoming a world champion. This is greater than Jake. This is to set an example. Every single person who's the best in the world at anything is doing it unselfishly. They're not thinking about themselves. They're doing it because there's a purpose behind it. And that's what Jake has, that's what I have, and that's what every single person who's the best in the world at what they do has. He's gonna have the best mindset of any fighter ever. It's a crazy thing to say, but after tomorrow, it's the best mindset. Because it's not even a mindset, it's a program. It's gonna be impossible.
You haven't worked with any other fighters, so.
No.
That's why he's gonna have the best mindset.
Never like this. I've worked with other fighters, but not this protocol. Let me ask you a question. If you were to pinpoint one thing that's the gap between Jake now and Jake as a world champ, what's the gap?
Staying hungry, man. Knowing what your goal is. You know, a lot of times you're making this money, you're getting this recognition, you're getting this attention. You can deviate from that.
So focus.
Focus.
Have you seen him lose focus?
I wouldn't say that, but that can happen. He's still a young guy.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Forget that. If you were thinking about him now, what's the one thing you think we could do to, like, what's the gap right now that you see today?
I still say focus.
Same? So you think it can amplify? Jake's coach's biggest concern when I spoke to them was that he may be getting too comfortable because his life is so sweet. And after talking to him, I just don't think that's the case. His life was sweet when he started, and that's why he's different than all these other fighters. All these other fighters came from nothing. So when they tasted money, they got comfortable. Look at Conor McGregor, for example. But with Jake, that's just not the case. And his hunger comes from a different place. So I think it's a misread on his coaches. And when I spoke to him, he confirmed that for me. So I really think that Jake has got a great mindset, and he's gonna be fucking perfect. To be honest, I think this is my opinion, and it's gonna contrast your coach's opinion. Their opinion was that because you're in silk sheets, you might lose that hunger. My opinion is anytime I go into abundance, period, anytime I work with anyone and they go back into abundance, it's a reminder of why you're working so hard.
Exactly.
I'll be here until 10 p.m.
Thank you so much. All right, you ready? Go like this with your hands. Look at your fingers. Pull them up. Look at these two fingers. Open those two fingers. Notice they start coming closer and closer as if magnets are pulling and tugging. In a moment, I want these fingers to just touch. Imagine them just getting tighter and tighter and tighter. Imagine these fingers pressing, pushing, squeezing against each other. And I want you to imagine now there's a solid brass metal ring around these fingers, just squeezing them together. And that brass metal ring is squeezing these fingers so tight now that your hands are now starting to lock together. And you notice that that brass is spreading through these fingers all the way through your hands, and now your hands are becoming a solid piece of metal. Now with one, getting even tighter. Two, you find that solid metal ball just squeezing itself together. 3, 4, 5, you find your hands and fingers are now stuck. You cannot pull them apart. And sleep all the way down, completely relaxing, all the way deep, completely letting go now. 5. The reason Jake is so good at going into hypnosis is because he's extremely open-minded. What people don't understand is that those who are good at going into hypnosis are those who are the most intelligent and the most open-minded. That's why you see athletes, top athletes, they're the easiest to hypnotize. The best entrepreneurs, the easiest to coach because they're the most open-minded. It's those who are skeptical, those who are small-minded, who don't accept any new information, which is why they're stuck, which is why their life looks like shit. 4, 3, and just sleep, completely letting go. Completely relaxing. Each and every time I say the word sleep or deep sleep, your eyes will close, your body will relax. You're going to focus on the sound of my voice. Eyes open, sleep. Eyes open, sleep. You find that stuckness moves to your eyelids, and you find your eyes are so heavy and so relaxed you can't open your eyes. When you've imagined that your eyelids are so heavy and so relaxed that you cannot open your eyes, I want you to just sleep. What I've noticed, and this is why I charge $1 million a session, $10 million a year, and why my clients are the best in the world, It's because they're so open-minded. When you tell them something, they're willing to learn, they're willing to listen, there's no ego. Jake has no ego whatsoever. People think he has a massive ego, they think he's an asshole. He's the most generous human being. He's extremely coachable and open-minded, and that's why I think he's the best in the world. And sleep all the way down, completely relaxing all the way deep. Now 5, 4, 3, 2, and sleep, completely letting go. If this is your mind, there's this filter. So this is the subconscious. Makes up like 99.9% of your mind, even though people say it makes up less. This is your conscious mind, makes up nothing. This filter in between is what lets flow come in, come out. When this filter opens up, you go into trance. When you're at your best, this is super open, and then just instinct comes through. Thoughts flow in and out. When you suppress it, and any way you're suppressing negativity, this filter blocks stuff. We just open this filter, we let everything that's bad come out, remove it. Anything that's good will just go in immediately and program your brain. Now, why that's important is because tomorrow, what's happened is there's this second identity. We're gonna program it with whatever good shit you want. We're gonna merge it in here. To merge it, we have to open this shit massively, which we've already done. It then goes and sees anything that's negative, and it just fucking changes it. So right now you're feeling really good because we've already done that to a lot of negative stuff and it's already there, but it's separate. The separation creates a little bit of a disconnect or disassociation. The second they come together, you feel presence, you feel sharper, smarter, everything in between. So tonight, think about exactly what you want to program in there and we're gonna fucking do it for you tomorrow. Awesome, bro. Yesterday, we hypnotized Jake. We built a second identity inside of his mind. Today we're going to be programming that identity in and merging it. So he hasn't been allowed to speak pretty much since I've hypnotized him. He's only allowed to talk when he sees me now. And we're going to see how he feels. I don't really expect him to feel any different because we didn't really do anything. I mean, if he feels something, it might be clarity, it might be a lot of insight, self-reflection. But all in all, he's not going to feel a massive shift until today. And today, when we're done, he's probably going to feel better than he's ever felt in his entire life. Take a deep breath. Now, using your imagination, I want you to imagine that your eyelids are so heavy and so relaxed that just for a little while, you cannot open your eyes. I want you to imagine that your eyelids are so heavy and so relaxed that you cannot open your eyes. I want you to just sleep, completely relaxing all the way down. All the way deep, completely letting go. Now with 5, 4, 3, 2, and just relax and sleep. When you merge with Jake, you'll make sure he's in euphoria, he's present, he's sharper, he's smarter. You remove all unconscious tasks that are going on that don't need to be there. You give him extraordinary self-awareness and external awareness, environmental awareness. And you make sure no matter what, his mind stays sharp, focused, and locked in. He always feels good. When you merge with him, you make sure he's more euphoric than he has ever been. He's no longer the old Jake. He's a version of Jake Paul that can create anything he's ever wanted. He has the best mindset of any fighter who's ever been in the ring. He's the most complete individual. He's done all the work. Your job is to remove anything that holds him back. And the second he wants something or sets his mind to it, you make sure he gets it done. Press enter, press save. Now in a moment, you'll see at the top left of the screen, it says number 1 and Jake. You're gonna drag number 1 over Jake, and you'll notice a warning pops up. It says, are you sure you want to merge? There'll be a yes and a no. before you press yes, realize when you press yes, your mind will reset. Everything will go dark, and you'll integrate this personality and identity into you. You'll see things from your future, from your past. And it will unlock a version of you in your nervous system that you've never had before. When you are ready, go ahead and press yes now and just sleep. Eyes open, wide awake. Woo! Ah! How do you feel?
Let's go.
You feel good?
Yeah, thank you, man. I feel great. It's like,
It's intense, huh?
yeah, new just operating system installed. The best way to describe the feeling is just like a new iOS update, just rebooting the system. The brain and your thoughts are your reality, and so if there's any junk or negativity or bad things in there, you have to work, just like going to the gym, just like anything else in life. You have to work at it to make it better, and this is a essentially massive reboot and overdrive of the current operating system, and unlocking things that you maybe didn't even know were there, dealing with emotions and thoughts from your past traumas or things that you were holding on to. And I don't believe you can get there or do it by yourself. I think it's just like having a trainer in the gym. You need to go deep and to practice these things in an extreme way. And I believe that every human can get 1% better, 5% better, 10% better, and you just have to work at it. So there's always room for improvement. Marczell can always help me unlock different parts of my brain and almost like opening the highways of thought and possibility and growth and unlocking the best version of myself. And sometimes you need a coach or a professional to be able to do that. And we've been doing it since 6 years ago, so the results speak for themselves, I guess.
The fastest way to get to where you want to go is to change a few beliefs, not thousands of beliefs, just a few core beliefs that will absolutely make a massive impact and ripple across every area of your life. We are always taught that it takes years to change our life. No, it takes years to get to a moment where you have a breakthrough. It's about programming your mind. We all know we should be more confident. We all know we should work harder, maybe wake up a little bit earlier. Maybe we shouldn't eat like shit or go to the gym. We all know these things, but we don't do it because there's a program in our mind that prevents us from having what we want. What you saw for Jake can also happen for you if you're interested in reprogramming your mind and you want to level up, not just in the way that Jake did, but in your own way. Whatever it may be, maybe your business, your relationships, your health, and you just want to go to the next level, then click the link in the description right now and book a call with my team. We will walk you through it, we'll see where you're at, and we're going to help you go to the next level.